Going on, everyone? Welcome, Rabid here. And everyone said GPU mining was useless. Profits gone, and rigs, well, pretty much useless. But quietly under the radar, something massive is building. Right now, there is massive demand for GPU power. Payouts are climbing, and it's not going to last forever, but it's going to be around for a couple months if you act fast. This isn't some hype cycle or random altcoin pump. This is real demand for GPUs. Now, if you move early, you could turn all these idle GPUs, which are mine, into consistent income again. And the best part is, nobody knows it's really happening. All right, guys, so in this video, I'm going to be going through what exactly is going on, how much you're actually going to be earning on your GPUs, and why this is going to last for months, not just days. Let's get into it.
All right, so the name of the game here is Salad, and I know a lot of you guys are checking this out and you're like, what's going on? But you can go through the demand list and run the numbers for yourself, but there's something that this is not telling you, which I got some information about that you're really going to want to hear. But yes, right now the demand is super high when it comes to RTX 5090s, 4090s, 3090s. We got 4080s in here, 4070 Ti's, 4070s. 3070s are low, but the thing we're going to take a look at also when I bring everything together is there's going to be high demand coming up also for any GPU that's 12 gigabytes or plus. That is your 3060s, your 3070s, your 3070s that are made later on in 2022, not the initial batch, but the later ones did have 12 gigabytes. Same with the second batches of 3080s. So, keep that in mind that if you do have 12 gigabyte plus versions, there's going to be up to 5,000 jobs possibly coming in with very high demand very soon. And this is all first come, first serve. So you're going to want to get on ASAP so that you don't miss out on this. All right, if you're unfamiliar with Salad and you just want to, get a quick idea of what it is, let's run through it right quick here. Salad is a pretty nice, easy, program here. You can see you get demand changes and everything, but pretty much you can pause until idle. So when I'm done using my PC for anything, it'll automatically kick in and begin mining. You can tell it to start chopping and do its stuff. So it's a rental service here. They use your GPU for, doing rendering and things like that, all types of a workforce that may be available to you. So that's just, the program in a nutshell. And a lot of you guys always have the question, how do you sell your stuff? Or, how do you get paid and stuff like that? So you'll get a Salad balance, which is then redeemable on the Salad website. And here's where you convert your rewards into straight PayPal dollars. So you can get it all paid out to your PayPal. And there's all sorts of ways. Here's the most popular. We got Venmo here. We got Visa cards. You can use MasterCards, prepaid MasterCards here. You got Roblox money you can get out of it. Minecraft stuff, which is very popular. We got international Amazon gift cards, gaming cards. You can donate to things, subscriptions for stuff like Discord Nitro, all sorts of opportunities. You got streaming for games here and Xbox Game Passes. So multiple various ways to turn in your Salad tokens and get paid out in whatever you want. The most popular ways, I believe, is PayPal, just to get your balance straight to your bank accounts and stuff like that. But essentially, this is Salad ecosystem in a nutshell. Now let's get back to the profitability. All right, so this is the part that pretty much everybody only cares about, profitability. So if you come into the earning tabs here, you can see Salad Network Monitor. Now this gives you, it looks like it dropped off quite a bit from when I was just here, but don't take these numbers lightly. We're going to run through the real numbers and what's actually coming to give you guys a heads up, because you're not going to want to miss this. All right, so let's start with the 4090s and the 5090s. And they're always the workforce and the hard workers, always the highest in demand when it comes to a lot of these things. So right now, there's currently about 500 to 600 jobs for these two GPUs right here. And they're pretty common. And, there's some shortage in GPU power. That's why the demand is so high right now, because a lot of people have either shut down their rigs, maybe they're selling off their rigs, or they're moving it to other AI systems and stuff like that. So there's a shortage in GPU, compute power out there, and Salad is paying top dollar for it now. So again, I mentioned 5 to 600 jobs for 4090s and 5090s, and they have a floor and a peak rate. So the rate isn't exactly what's going on here. You're actually earning more to the top end, and that sounds more like the 27 cents per hour range, which is $6.48 per 5090. Now you're only going to get the high rates. As you can see here, this is the average earning rate for the top 25% hourly. This is if you have perfect network conditions and system and stuff. That's 32 gigabytes of memory, which you need for RAM in your PC, as well as a decent internet connection. So probably anything over, 10 megabytes upload, maybe over 25 to 50 megabytes download should be good for this. Obviously anything better than dial-up is decent internet for this type of application here. Now there's also a floor for these. There's some lower paying jobs in here, and that actually works out, say for a 5090, $4.20 a day, and then the 49ers are about $2.73. That's still pretty darn good versus anything else out there. If we actually look at hash rate.no and we look at straight up GPU mine, let's just jump into a 5090 right quick here. We can see that the top coin for a 5090 revenue before any type of power costs here is 83 cents. And we can see the floor for a 5090 is $4.20. So we're making a lot more than coming into here and mining a coin like Vecno here or Cubic Coin or any of these, because they're just not paying anything out, even if you had free power. Here we're looking at, quadruple the amount of profits. And, they're actually not using too much power as well. Now, here's where the major news comes in. When it comes to the 4090s and 5090s, customers will be ramping up more demand for 4090s or 5090s, making them all huge in peak earnings depending on supply. So there's a lot more jobs that's going to be coming on for the 5090s and 4090s, and they're all long-term jobs too. That's supposed to last months, not just a couple days and the demand's gone. These are going to be huge jobs that's going to need ongoing compute power, and the same thing is going on for like the RTX 3060s, the 3070s, 3080s, and 4070s that do have 12 gigabyte plus. As I mentioned, there's going to be 1,000 to 5,000 jobs coming in very soon. That's a lot of jobs for the hardware out there, and there's going to be massive demand coming onto all these GPUs as well over the next, I'm not sure the time frame, couple days to a couple weeks maybe, but it is coming, and you're going to have to be online to get those jobs because it's first come, first serve, and they're going to last months, not hours, not days like normal crypto pumps and stuff like that. When hash rate moves over, you get the job, you're good to go as long as your system specs are up to par, and you will get months of profitability, not just days. So that's huge. We have some long-term earnings coming up on Salad, and this is something we really need to take advantage of as GPU miners.
All right, guys, so I got a bunch of GPUs just kind of hanging out here doing nothing, as well as a bunch of CPU rigs with the same mentality, just hanging out, not doing too much. So I'm probably gonna have to slap a bunch of rigs together because profitability is coming. So let me ask you guys a question. Are you ready to sit in doom and gloom and complain that GPU mining is dead? Or do you want to actually slap some rigs together and start earning together? The decision is yours. Link is in the description. Check it out. I'll see you on the next one, guys. Rabid out.